Are we rolling? Good. All right. It's time to get serious. Still got glue on the table. Anyways. What's up, you guys? Veronica.Em here. You already know. Welcome back to my channel. Now, this video is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about the truth behind starting your own business. All right? Having a business, starting a business, being in business. Just some points that I want to touch on. I've been thinking about this a lot, and sometimes I have ideas and I have thoughts and I have topics that I want to discuss with somebody, and I don't have nobody to discuss with. So I'm like, you know what? Let me step out my shell and let me just talk to you guys about the things that be in my mind, because there be so much going on up here. So much going on up here. I have to let it out, okay? I have to let it out and socialize and talk to somebody. So this topic isn't going to be too crazy. There be some other topics that I want to talk about, but I woke up today, not feeling too hot, and, trying to do some business stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I know there's other people out there who be going through this stuff. So let me talk about it, because you don't really hear it. Anywho, I have my little notebook here because I had to write down some key tips and points that I wanted to touch on, just so that I don't go off track, because my brain be all scrabbled. All right. So just to start, if you own a business, run a business, you're in business, whether you're a small business or you're more profitable, big time corporation business, like this video, comment down below, and after you watch this, make sure you interact with me so we could talk, okay? And see what else there is for us to discuss. Oh, I never really looked directly in the camera lens. It's kind of weird. Anywho, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the mental strain. Okay, the mental strain between finding a balance between work life, if you work a 9 to 5, along with running your business, social life, okay, work life, social life, business life, and everything else that comes in between. Now, I'm a person who I have to really organize my time, write it down. I have so many books and planners and papers and everything and sticky notes everywhere, because one, if I don't write stuff down, I'm gonna forget, and two, I need some type of structure, okay, because then I feel all disorganized and all over the place, and it doesn't work for me. So in order for me to relieve my mental stress from running a business, I have to write down time for me. Like, I literally have to go say, okay, this day is gonna be my day to do what I want. Now, do I end up doing what I want on those days? Not really. Most of the time, I'm still stuck into work and business, but I'm really trying to get out of that habit. Anywho, I basically brought this video to you guys because I know that a lot of the time, especially with social media, living in the world of technology, we see the end result and not the beginning, the middle, okay, and the journey to get to that point. And specifically pertaining this to business, let's say you have a cosmetic company or a skin and body care company like I have, or a notebook company, whatever kind of business it is, there's a lot of struggles that you go through before hitting that big break, right? Some people, okay, very few are just blessed or lucky, whatever you want to call it, to blow up overnight or to be born into something, whether it's the social construct, born into wealth or whatever it is, born into resources that a lot of people don't have, which is why their business could take off. When you're starting from scratch and you're starting by yourself and you're everything for the business, I'm talking the marketing agent, the product distributor, promoter, everything and anything you could think of with a business, the finance department, the HR department, like I'm talking everything a business require. When you start from scratch and you're all of that, all of those things, it takes a toll on your mind. And then add on top of that the stress from working a job 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 p.m. really, because that's how some of these jobs be. Hello, my job. But add on top of that, add on top of that if you got family, add on top of that any mental health that you're already struggling with that you don't have help for, it's just a lot. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot. And if you understand what I'm saying, comment down below. So anywho, I want to shed light on those pieces because it's important for people who are starting, or for people who, you know, are jealous of others, or people who just assume that it's just this thing that you could just get up and you know, okay, I'm just gonna do this today when I feel like, I'm gonna just do this today when I feel like. It don't work like that. If you want true success, you have to be disciplined, you have to have consistency, and you have to sacrifice. And sacrificing, all of those things is difficult, but sacrificing especially is one of the toughest things to do. When you got to sacrifice your time, you have to sacrifice your sleep, you have to sacrifice your finances sometimes to invest into the business. Initially, you got to sacrifice, I don't know, if you sacrificing, you know, not drinking coffee for 3 months or something because it make you crazy and you need to focus, I don't know, whatever it is you're sacrificing, it take a toll on you. And some people have it worse, some people have it a little easier. It don't matter, okay? We all have some sense of stress, and one person's sense of stress might be a little bit more strenuous, but at the end of the day, if we think of it as an overall, it takes a toll on you. All right? It takes a toll on you. So I'm saying that to say, make sure you set time aside for yourself. And like I said, that's difficult for me because even with setting time aside for myself, I don't take the time I set aside for myself. Because I'm always like, you know what? Nah, I don't need time for myself because I'm not gonna make it where I want to make it if I don't utilize this time. Nah, let me just work 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. the next day and everything will be okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. It's not. And the social interaction part, right, of sacrificing, oh my goodness. We all need to socialize. Like, I know a lot of people may be introverted, or they're not social people. They tend to isolate themselves, because I find myself doing that sometimes as well. And I think the whole world is against me. I think that people don't like me. Well, some people don't, but I don't care. Anywho, you know what I'm saying? But we have to socialize with each other. We have to talk. We have to get in that habit of reaching out for help. And this is another point I want to touch on. I wrote this down. I wrote down an order to this, and I'm going all out of order. So I hope you guys aren't confused by what I'm saying. But anywho, moving from social interaction into asking for help. If you're not a person that knows how to ask for help, okay, we got to work on that. We got to work on that. You help me help you. We have to work on it because we can only do so much. We can only do so much until we're burnt out. We're tired, we're mentally exhausted, we're strained. Physically, we can't get up because our knees buckling. Alright, let me not get too personal, but you know what I'm saying? So we have to learn how to, if this is something you struggle with, we have to learn how to ask for help. And asking for help is difficult, especially when you don't know who to ask for help from. Because we don't want to be asking for help from everybody, okay? Some people are not looking out for your best interest. Some people don't know what the heck they be talking about. They just yapping. And some people do actually, you know, have the knowledge to provide you so that you could maneuver and you could grow. So anytime you're reaching out or you're looking to ask for help, just really sit back and think about the pros and cons, what you need help with, and make sure you're directing that to the right person. Because we can't just be talking to every and anybody. We should talk. We should socialize. We should ask for help. But definitely, you know, think about who you're talking to and who you're providing this information to, because it's critical not only for yourself and your self-development, but also for your business. Because this is a business video. Oh my goodness, I'm going off track. I'll start again to, like, you know, mental, personal stuff. We talk about business, strictly running and owning a business. Okay, back on track. So we talked about social life. We talked about asking for help. A lot of the times, what people aren't showing you on social media, and social media is a big component to a lot of things these days, okay? When it comes to your mental health, your emotional stability, everything like that, a lot of people think that social media is real, and not even half, more than half of the stuff on social media is not real. It is a facade, okay? And sometimes I find myself falling into the trap Don't get me wrong, which is why sometimes I'm not on social media unless I'm on my business page at Gardenian Gold. Make sure you go over to Instagram and make sure you shop at gardeniangold.com. All right, make sure you go over there, head over there and check it out. But sometimes I find myself falling into the trap too. I'm like, dang, how did they get so many likes? How did they get so many followers? How did they get so many orders? And it come back to the same thing that I'm talking about in this video. Time and hard work and dedication and putting it through. Because when somebody posts the results, right? When you see the glitz and the glamour and you don't see the work to get there, it tries to trick you like, yo, like, that's crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like an unconscious thing that happened in your mind where you mood switch and you just like how, you know what I'm saying? I had to get some water. But anyways, I lost my train of thought. What I was getting into was the sleepless nights, okay? The sleepless nights, the tears, there may be a little bloodshed depending on if you cut your finger or something making a product, but literally the definition of blood, sweat, and tears before the reward. When you starting completely from scratch, and this goes for anything, not just business, but you know, since that's what the videos pertain to, when you starting completely from scratch and a lot of what you're doing is dependent upon yourself, you gotta be mindful of what the end goal is. Because if we get wrapped up in just the feeling of what we feel at that moment, we're gonna lose sight of the reward that we're after and the goal that we set for ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Comment down below if you understand what I'm saying. Shoot, I don't even know if I understand what I'm saying. No, I understand what I'm saying. I understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so anywho, with that, there is long sleepless nights sometimes. And this goes back to sacrifice, where you gotta get up and you might have to get up whatever time to work your job the next day. But you know you have to package these orders, or you know you have to make this product because you ain't gonna have time next week, or you know you have to make order these supplies before you go to bed because they're gonna be out of stock by tomorrow. You gotta do this, and you gotta do that, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that. You know you gotta sort out your bills and your expenses and see what you gotta invest in your business. It's a lot. It's a lot. And when you don't actively see that part of running a business and you only see the reward, it tricks your mind, okay? It tricks your mind into thinking that you can't do it, right? Sometimes it tricks your mind either to thinking that you can't achieve it, or that you can achieve it, or that you can achieve it but not in the way that you know is right. And a lot of what goes on social media is this fast life, fast money, fast this, fast that. It's not sustainable. We are trying to build sustainable businesses that are gonna last in the long run, okay? Businesses that we take pride on. We have ethics and morals and that. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know about y'all. Maybe you want that fast, you know, quick. You don't care what you do. But I take pride in having ethics and morals and values in everything that I do, and making sure everything that I'm doing is executed how it needs to be executed for that purpose. All right? Let me know if that makes sense to you. And if you understand, comment down below. All right. The next couple of things is the agitation, the stress, the confusion, and the feelings of quitting. I kind of touched on the feeling of quitting sometimes, but the agitation, stress, confusion, feelings of quitting, those are not all the characteristics or traits or feelings that come about, but those are some of the top. Especially the feeling of quitting, when you see, quote unquote, everybody else thing is taking off, right? Or when you feel like you just can't do it because you don't have no balance, or when you feel like it's not going nowhere as fast. Let me know if that's straight. I don't know. Anyways, sorry y'all, my camera died. Like right when we get into the good stuff. Anywho. Okay, so I was touching on agitation, stress, confusion, and the feelings of quitting. So I don't remember the last piece I said about feelings of quitting, but basically the feeling of quitting comes about fairly often. Now, I don't know if it comes about fairly often for everybody, but it comes about fairly often, especially when in your mind and in your body and your spirit and your soul, whatever it is, you feel like your business isn't going nowhere. You don't feel like it's moving how it needs to move. You don't feel like it's taking off how it needs to take off. Maybe you're only getting 1 or 2 orders instead of 50, 100 orders, and that's where you want to be because you have these grand goals, right? And you're like, I really want to do this and this and this and this, but I can't do these until this happens, and it's not happening. So forget it. I just want to give up, right? Don't give up. Don't give up though. Like, don't give up. But in those times where we feel like that, again, if you feel this way, stay with me. When we feel like that, we have to, again, remember what the goal is. Remember what the goal is. Now, let's not forget that we got to use common sense, though, and logic in these things, because there's plenty of times some people start a business and it doesn't go nowhere, it's not profitable, and you just need to move on, right? That's a whole different thing. You have to go based off of the numbers, the statistics, the income versus the expenses and all that good stuff to really make that determination. But I'm specifically talking about the feeling of quitting because you feel like it's too overwhelming. You haven't really given it all you got. You haven't really sacrificed. You haven't really stayed consistent. You haven't really kept disciplining yourself. What? I don't like this. Yeah, my ears be looking mad big when I move this way. I don't like that. Anywho, but you know, you haven't really done those things to see if your business is going to be profitable. But because you see other people taking off, or you feel like it's not doing nothing, it's not going nowhere, you feel like your name ain't getting out there, you feel like quitting. Don't quit, okay? Don't quit. Keep going. Keep working hard. I'm here for you. Like I said, you help me help you. And we just got to remember what the end goal is. I'm not going to keep talking about that because we ain't no quitters. And I don't want to think about the feeling of quitting all the time anymore. I don't want to think about that. I want to think about the feeling of accomplishing what I set out to accomplish. The feeling of making sure my business is successful and I execute the ideas and the creativity and imagination and everything that I think and I have for it. That's what I want to focus on, and that's what we need to be focusing on so that we can hit that point, okay? But anywho, the next points is the feeling of loneliness and the feeling of not having support. And these are important key points. Let's talk about the not having support part first. So, everybody is not going to support you. Everybody's not going to support you. I know that majority of people hear this already. It be the people closest to you who do not support you or who don't do what they, you know, what you would quote unquote expect them to do, or, you know, like it be those people. It be those people sometimes. Sometimes everything you're getting, all the encouragement you're getting is from a stranger. That's how it be sometimes. But you have to be your own support as well. Now, I'm not saying just solely depend on yourself, because you always need at least one good person in your corner. This goes for just life. This is a good thing for just life. You need at least one good person in your corner. But even when you feel like you have no support, you have to be your own support. You have to be your own support, because if you feel like you don't got no support and then you also ain't supporting the business, how's it gonna go anywhere? How's it gonna go anywhere? Ain't nobody doing nothing for it. Ain't nobody thinking about it, talking about it, executing the goals for it, maneuvering what needs to be maneuvered for the business. It ain't gonna go nowhere. So you gotta support yourself. And that is so straining and so taxing on your mind and your brain to feel like you're alone. So the feeling of no support goes kind of ties into feeling lonely and feeling alone, because you feel like you have to do everything for yourself, and you feel like you're by yourself, and you feel like nobody cares, and you feel like, you know, nobody really believes in you. And if you don't believe in yourself, then you're gonna think that that's true. That's really what it comes down to. If you don't believe in yourself and you're feeling these things, you're gonna think that everything that you're feeling is true. Sometimes it could be true that you ain't got no support. Sometimes you really might be alone. But a lot of those things don't have to last. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to maneuver how you need to maneuver. That's about to be my favorite word for the video, because sometimes we just have to maneuver. We just gotta maneuver. We gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it we gotta keep it going, okay? Like we a linebacker or something. We gotta keep it going. Maneuver the field. We gotta maneuver the field. When it ain't working out over here, we gotta maneuver the field. We gotta maneuver this way, that way, wherever we gotta go, okay? To get to the end goal. We have to do it. Now, personally, when I feel like I don't have support, and a lot of the times I think outside people or people closest to us, whether it's like your close friends and stuff, you know, sometimes you have that support. And I'm not talking about that kind of support, because I have some family members or some friends who support me, right? Who support me. But the support I'm talking about we need is that extra piece of going the extra mile and the extra step of making sure that you're okay, and making sure that you actually really do have the pieces, and making sure that people aren't downplaying what you're doing. That kind of support. Does that make sense? I keep asking if it makes sense, because sometimes there be things in my head I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to verbally execute it so people understand what I'm saying. So let me make sure that makes sense. Make sure you comment down below and tell me if that makes sense. But yeah, sometimes when I don't feel like I have support from some people around me, because it's not everybody, but sometimes when I don't feel like I have support from whoever I'm around, or even if it is like, I don't know, your coworkers or something, or whoever it is, like whoever it is. Anywho, so when I feel like I don't have support, right? When sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, dang, bro, like, is anybody even supporting this for real? Does anybody even understand everything I'm trying to go through just to make one product? You know what I'm saying? And you want to question what I'm doing. You want to this, you want to that. I got to think about, one, this is exactly why I don't tell everybody about what I'm doing. Because I don't. I am a very, you know, keep it to myself, and when it's done, it's done. But this is why I say you can't share everything with everybody, because everybody's not going to support you, and you can't really expect everybody to support you. Like, it is, if you support me, great. If you don't, bye. Like, I'm gonna do what I have to do. And there's different levels of support. They're the top of the top, the people who gonna go hard for you. As much as you go hard for yourself, they gonna go harder for you sometimes. When you laying there, they gonna go that extra footage, okay, to make sure you get done what you need to get done. Then you have the middle people who support you. They're like, yeah, you know, post your little stuff here and there, or do what you gotta do. Then you have the people who say they support you, but they don't really support you. You know what I'm saying? They just like, oh yeah, that's cool. But low key, they don't believe in the vision. Stay away from those people. Stay away from those people. Anything that I'm talking about that does not help you execute what you need to execute, and help you better yourself as a person, and help you grow your business, dash them way. All right, dash them way, because we don't have time for that. We don't got time for none of that. Okay. Anywho, so I kind of touched on a lot of the key points I wrote. So I touched on a lot of the things that I've written down already, going through my list: investing time, money, sacrifice, discipline, consistency, social interaction, asking for help. You know, these were some beginning main key parts that I just wanted to touch on. This is definitely not everything. This is not the end, but this is kind of a starting point of majority of the things that people feel when starting a business. Majority of things that I feel from starting my business, from running a business, from being in business thus far. And I'm still figuring out how to work through a lot of them. Some weeks I'm great. Some weeks I'm ready to get to work. I may do what I gotta do. If I gotta sacrifice this sleep, all right, let's get it. But then some weeks I'm like, yo, what is this even really what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, it just don't make no sense. How is it? I feel like I'm sacrificing it, and I'm being as consistent as I can be. Like, what more you want me to do? I feel like if I'm any more consistent and sacrifice anything else, I ain't gonna have nothing left for myself. And then I have to reevaluate, and I gotta take a step back, and I gotta think, And I have to be mindful of making sure that the things that I'm thinking are actually factual and not fictional. Because a lot of the times, some of the things that we think are real, or some of the things that we think is happening, some of the things that we think might happen, there's no truth behind it. Our mind is such a powerful thing, y'all. Our mind is so powerful. Our mind really is like the battery for our body. So you need to feed your mind nourishing things. I'm talking about educated, feed it knowledge, feed it what you need to feed it to be with you the rest of your life, okay? And particularly for business, since this is a business video, feed it what you need to feed it to execute your business. Feed your mind the knowledge you need to do what you need to do for your business. Because that's the only how you're going to stay sane and it's going to flourish. So, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I'm pretty sure we at 20 minutes, probably past that a little bit already. I might make a part 2. I may make a part 2. So comment down below, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 to this video, and we could talk about it. We could definitely talk about it. But I just want to bring this to your attention because if you're feeling any of these things, trust me, you are not alone. And that is the biggest piece, because when you're not around people doing the same thing you're doing, which I'm not. I'm not around people who's working towards the same goals or similar goals as me. I'm not around people who have this big vision for life. I'm not even gonna say and lie to you. I'm not. Like, just in my day-to-day where I'm at, to get up and wake up where I'm at, in the work environment I'm in, wherever, I'm not fully around people like that 24/7. So even if you go and you hang with somebody like that for a day or for a few hours, the majority of your time is being soaked up by the people who are not engaged in that same atmosphere, or that same what's the word? That same prospect. Okay? Your majority of time is going to be taken up from people who are not thinking that way, who are not achieving those same goals and things. So in that time, you have to make sure you're feeding yourself enough of what it is you need to be fulfilled mentally when you're around those people, so that you don't fall into whatever it is they're saying, whatever it is they're doing, whatever it is they feel about what you're doing. You don't fall into that. So definitely take time, sit back, know that you're not alone, because I be feeling like I'm alone, and I be feeling like I'm the only person who be going through this. I'm like, am I the only person who's running a business and feel this way? Am I the only person who started a business and feel this way? Is this normal? That's really what you start questioning and asking yourself. Is this normal? Are these normal feelings? Am I supposed to feel like quitting? Am I supposed to be distressed? You know what I'm saying? So just know you're not alone. You're not alone. And we can help each other help each other. We can help each other help each other. That's all I'm saying. I didn't touch too much on, my belief and my faith in God. I do believe in God, and I believe in His will for my life, and I believe in prayer. And I pray so much, y'all. Okay, I be missing it. I be some days I be slacking. Like, I still pray, but not as in depth as I should. I just be like, all right, Lord, thank you for waking me up this morning. I'm tired. Let's just bless and get through the day. But you have to have intentional prayer. But we're gonna talk about that in the next video. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want a part 2 to this video and you want me to touch on some more stuff relating to owning and running a business and being in business, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. And if you like videos like these, let me know, because I definitely am gonna keep them coming to you. I'm gonna keep them coming to you, because we gotta talk. Let's talk. You wanna talk? Let's talk. So again, if you feel any of these things, comment down below. Let me know how you get through it. Let me know your thoughts, how you keep going, how you keep persevering. I would love for you guys to share some tips. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there.